Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be going over how I do my handwritten glowing text effect. I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick, and then we will get into how to make it. So we are in After Effects right now, and that little clip that I just showed you, that part right there, this is basically it kind of broken down. All I really have is a background right here. Sorry, my computer's super slow. I got a background right here, just a random picture I found online. I got some smoke going through. I turned pretty much all the other layers off and deleted it, so it's easier for you to see. Down here, that was just rotored off. You can't really see it when all the smoke and everything else comes into play. So first of all, what you need to do is, I have my background right here. This is my background. I'm going to actually delete the song. We don't really need that. We'll leave the smoke. Just know that this layer right here is the smoke layer. Right here we have the roto brushed layer. So whatever you want to put the text behind, you have to roto out right there. Okay? So from there, what you need is, that's pretty much it. So here's where we add in our text. So go ahead, add your text layer. I'm going to put in Arcxne right here. Wow, that's really small. So we're going to move this out, try something big. 1 second. It's way too big. Yikes. Something like that. Let's scale that up a little bit. Let's make this bigger. About there. Now this is just simple font that I'm going to use to teach you how to do this. So I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to line it wherever I want it to be. Scale this up even more. Just about here. That's perfect. And so what you're going to do next is, first of all, I would solo this layer out just so you can see this clearly without anything else, and that's this this white dot right here. Next, go ahead and grab your pen tool right up here, and this is kind of tricky, but I'm going to teach you it in the easiest possible way that I can. I'll give you some tips too. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to start this over here by the A, zoom in over there. So I'm going to put a point. These are all points I'm going to mask throughout these letters, and I'm going to put a point in the middle here. Try to keep it as centered between each line as you can. And you want to draw the lines as if you're writing it. So if I was going to write it, I would write this line first, and then I would pull down here. I'd come over here, and I would draw across. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to draw points. And the more points you have, the better you actually are. So just like this, all the way through the middle, over here. Now this might be sloppy, but I'm just trying to get you guys to get the hang of this. So right about here. That should be good enough for now. Now one thing is, when you have a bunch of text, like let's say the R was right next to the A here, do not put any points over, you always want to go letter by letter. You don't want any of these lines from the letter A to go over R before you finish A. And that's kind of confusing, but after you play with it a little bit, you will understand exactly what I mean. So we'll do the next one. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to come up through the top, try to center it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could zoom in really close. I'm going to go over here then. And then I'm going to start going through the rest of the letter R. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's basically what you're gonna do throughout all the letters in the word. So I'm gonna speed this up real quick. Okay, so that's basically it right there. There's a few things that you can go back and mess with. This isn't like a one-time thing and you can't fix it. So you could easily go back and change some things up if you want to. So the end point of your mask, by the way, will just be somewhere random. You can put it really wherever you want. So what you're going to do next is you're going to click on your layer. You can go over here and type in stroke, or you can go up to effect and then go down to generate, and then stroke will be right there for you. So we'll add a stroke onto this layer, and it's going to make the mask that you drew white. Up here you want to make sure that that mask is selected. If you drew around all the letters with more than one mask, then you can click on all masks right here, and it will do the same to every mask, and it will combine them. So what I do is I change this to a different color, like red, yellow, turquoise, something other than the regular color that it is right now, white. You're going to go over to brush size, and you're going to scale this up to cover the letters. Now you don't want to go absolutely huge, like that big, you don't want to do that. And you don't want to go too small to where you're seeing the white. You want it to cover just perfectly. And now, as I've said, you can go back in here and you could change this up a little bit to make sure it fits everything. We'll go right there. We'll scale this up a little bit to cover that. Now that looks pretty good right now. Now you can see your mask like that. So what's going to happen next is you're going to go down here to where it says on original image, and you're going to change that onto transparent, or actually, yes, it's on transparent, sorry. No, reveal original image, my bad. So there we go, and you're not really going to see anything, nothing really happened, but that's because over here you want to change your endpoint. So the end is 100%, that means it drew along that whole mask. So if you bring that number down, you're going to see that, that it will start going through the mask that you drew. So if I start turning that up, it's going to slowly start to draw along that the mask that you drew like that. Now the only thing that's left now is to keyframe it. So we'll put an endpoint. We'll set that down to 0. Hit U on my keyboard to open this up. Put that as the starting point, and then I'll turn it all the way to 100. And I don't want that on the very last frame of the clips, because then you don't really get to see the whole word written out. So I'm gonna have it finish just a little bit before. That's perfect. So just so you know, the size obviously turns it up and down. Color changes the color of the stroke. Brush hardness, that's almost like a feather. It feathers it out a bit. Opacity just turns it up and down. Start, I don't really use, and spacing I don't use. That you want to have set to reveal original image. I'm going to drag this now, this text layer, and I'm going to drag it underneath, delete this adjustment layer. I'm going to drag this underneath the roto brushed layer, like that, and we could click this to unsolo that layer. There we go. Now, obviously we're not seeing the middle letters because they're literally behind this layer, the roto brushed layer. So if you go through, that's where your text is actually going to be written out for you. And from there, what I do next is I'll click on this right here. I have a preset made that I will add into the description, or I might just teach you how to do it. My bad. First, you need to go layer, new adjustment layer. You're gonna put it underneath your text layer. If you don't see anything over here besides these squares and stuff, go toggle switches and modes. Set this over here to alpha matte arcane, or whatever your text layer is. Effects and presets over here. It's text. It's right here, and you don't really notice anything happen. That's because I need to go over here a little bit, and I need to turn this down a bit so we can see that. So you can adjust this easily by turning up the glow threshold. I'm gonna leave it on about right here. This is really your preference. You can play with it how you want. I'm gonna turn that up just to about there so we get some color and some background. So I'm gonna hit T on my keyboard, and I'm gonna turn the opacity down just a little bit. just like that, and that's pretty much it. There's not really much left to it. I covered pretty much everything that you need to know. I know this tutorial is probably running a little long for how simple this is. But that's basically it. That's how you do. That's how I do my written text. I got this idea. I learned how to do this from Baker's tutorial, and that was a little while ago. But I added that glow to it, and I just wanted to go over it more in depth for you. And that's basically it. Thanks for watching, guys.